Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, lesson 17. I see no neutral things. This idea is another step in the direction of identifying cause and effect as it really operates in the world. You see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it is the other way around. This is not the way the world thinks, but you must learn that it is the way you think. If it were not so, perception would have no cause and would itself be the cause of reality. In view of its highly variable nature, this is hardly likely. In applying today's idea, say to yourself with eyes open, I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts. Then look about you, resting your glance on each thing you note long enough to say, I do not see a neutral blank because my thoughts about blank are not neutral. For example, you might say, I do not see a neutral wall because my thoughts about walls are not neutral. I do not see a neutral body because my thoughts about bodies are not neutral. As usual, it is essential to make no distinctions between what you believe to be animate or inanimate, pleasant or unpleasant. Regardless of what you may believe, you do not see anything that is really alive or really joyous. That is because you are unaware as yet of any thought that is really true, and therefore really happy. 3 or 4 specific practice periods are recommended, and no less than 3 are required for maximum benefit, even if you experience resistance. However, if you do, the length of the practice period may be reduced to less than the minute or so that is otherwise recommended. So this is an expansion of yesterday, right? Switching it around, thinking that our thoughts and our beliefs and all of that are created from the world around us, which it's one of those, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? And as we were younger, we didn't have that control. So it was definitely the beliefs that were created throughout our experience, right? But now where we're at, we get to play around with that. We get to be conscious creators is a term that gets used often when talking about law of attraction or anything like that. But this is saying, well, what if I adjust my thoughts? What if I adjust my beliefs? I mean, this is NLP that we're talking about. What does that do for the outside world? And there's a story in Real Love, and I think I've said this already, but you're sitting in the book Real Love, which changed my life, but you're sitting at a table outside of a coffee shop. You have $2 on the table. It's your last $2, right? Some guy runs, grabs those $2 and takes off. You're gonna be upset, right? You're gonna freak out. It's your last $2. What are you gonna do? Now, let's say you're sitting at that same table, same coffee shop, only now you have $1,000 on the table, and the same guy comes and runs by and takes the same $2. Are you going to be just as upset? No, because your perception of the situation is different. Yeah, you have more money there, and your perception, which like your mindset is going to be different. So it's not the behavior of the person running and taking the $2. It's your mindset around the situation, right? So think of that in terms of like an emotional state of being. When you're fulfilled and you're in a resourceful state of being, having tons of resources like acceptance and love and trust and safety and security and connection and just freedom and fun and joy and all of these fantastic resources, somebody comes up and says a snarky thing to you, you're just gonna let it roll off your shoulder. But that same person comes and says the same snarky remark to you, and the state that you're in is one of fear and anger and judgment and all of these other types of resources that are associated with those states of being, your reaction is going to be very different. You're going to respond in a completely different way. Now, what if instead of trying to manipulate that person from saying the snarky thing, we instead change our state of being because we have control over that? So beautiful, beautiful experience and so much power in this. I love that they say, I do not see a neutral body because my thoughts about bodies are not neutral, because I am really like, this is perfect because like I've really been having to focus on my love for my body. I went through a period where I wasn't loving myself, and it's showing now. And it was this beautiful thing that came to me, is that my body is a representation of the person I was, not a representation of the person I am right now. It's a representation of the choices that I made. And now I get to love my body. And I'm super excited to see how me loving my body is going to express itself in the future. And I'm really excited to get to experience the benefits of loving my body in the future. And I get to experience loving my body right now. Like, I get to experience the actual act of loving my body right now. And then I get to see the effects of that. Okay, that was a tangent. Didn't really have anything to do with this. Okay, you guys have a beautiful day. I love you. Have fun. As always, share anything that you feel guided to share. You can comment in the post. You can call me, text me, messenger me. You can record a video and post it in the group. Anything you guys want. Let's co-create this community. Day 17, lesson 17, I see no neutral things. Have a good one.